Hello viewers, welcome to our platform, welcome to our page, welcome to our channel. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, depending on where you're watching us from. In today's video, if you're coming across our channel for the first time, you are welcome. In this platform, we teach people how to repair, install, and maintain a solar system. That is what we do in this platform, and we give it raw. That is what we do in this platform. So you are highly welcome. So in our previous video, we discussed on the components of a solar system, what made up a solar system. We gave the definitions and we named most of those components that made up a solar systems and their power specifications. So that was what we treated, and we made a promise that we are going to also schematically connect this our home using most of the components that we mentioned. So let's go there. Like we earlier said, this is solar panel. Like we earlier said in our previous video, that this solar panel converts sun energy into electric energy. So it generates energy from the sun. Now we have our marker, we have the black. Because of this one, this black will be representing the negative, and this red will be representing the positive. So we want to load this house now by connecting our solar components together to generate electricity to this house. That is what we want to achieve. So let's go there. So this is our solar panel. Before we connected our solar panel direct to our charge controller first. Ideally, if you want to do the connection, you must start from connecting your battery to the charge controller, because we earlier said that this charge controller senses the voltage of your battery bank. 12 volts power bank, that is a battery bank. Now we want to connect our SCC to use the solar charge controller. Now remember, we have voltage specification. We have 12 volts, we have 24 volts, we have 36, we have 48. Now these are the voltage specifications of this particular charge controller, meaning that it can work with 12 volt battery bank, it can work with 24 volt battery bank, it can equally work with 36 volt battery bank and 48 volt battery bank. Now what we are using is just 12 volt battery bank. So we want to do our connection. First of all, we'll connect our battery. Like here, we have our PV photovoltaic, that is for panel, BT is for the battery, this is for our DC load. So since we are connecting to the battery, we have to also connect this negative to negative and positive to positive. Automatically, having done this connection, our SCC, which is our solar charge controller, will now observe this voltage, read it to be what? 12 volts. Because our battery bank is 12 volts battery bank. So our SCC has already acknowledged this voltage to be what? 12 volts. Now moving on to that, we now connect our panel. This is our panel, our negative to PV, and our positive to PZ positive. Now we talked about the circuit breaker, the DC circuit breaker. Remember, we said that this solar panels generates DC energy, that is DC. So within this battery now, within the solar panel to the charge controller, there is need for us to introduce a DC breaker. We're going to explain why we need this DC breaker here, because this the energy that's coming out from this is current that is coming out of this solar panels that goes to the charge controller is DC. Now the one that comes to this battery equally is DC too. You can also introduce your DC breaker here as well. Now we've already connected our battery to the charge controller. to read the voltage. Then we've already connected our voltage. Now, while connecting this, your DC breaker must be off, must be on off mode. While connecting this, your DC breaker must be on what? On off mode, to avoid error due to paralysis. Now, we've already connected our solar panels together with our battery. Moving on to that, we can now connect our inverter. Like we said earlier, all this voltage that is reversed around this circuit now is all of them are DC. All these voltage are DC. They are all DC voltage. All this and that. So it's now left for us to take it to the inverter, for the inverter to invert this voltage, DC voltage, convert it into AC voltage. That is what we'll be needing. Now, we'll connect to our inverter now. We now introduce our inverter. That is our inverter. We've connected the negative and positive of our inverter now. This inverter is now 12 volts inverter. Remember, all this must be on 12 because the inverter we're using is 12 volts. The battery we are using is 12 volts battery. The charge controller has senses to be 12 volts, and our inverter is equally 12, must be 12 volts. Now, having done the connection, we are now having here the AC, because here you have to also introduce your DC breaker. The DC breaker. Now, moving on to that, having introduced the DC breaker, we can now take in our load. This is our house. This is our socket. This is our socket. This is our AC loads. All we need is just for us to take this, merge it to the negative positive side of the AC output. Then this, the negative side terminal of the output voltage. Having done that, we can equally now introduce our AC breaker between this inverter and the load. Connect your solar system at home. That is just the simple way. So if this our illustration is quite educating, if it interests you, if you love what we are doing, please do like, share, and comment. Remember, we said earlier that after doing our illustration, we are going into full practicals. So in the next video, we are going to show you practically on how to connect this we just did on the board. Thank you, and remember.